Whether you are preparing your annual bills for membership subscriptions, or throughout the year you need to add a new charge item, this training video will hopefully help you to do that. In respect of the annual bills, we do recommend following this video as one of the early stages to make sure that your charge items are correct. So from your Club V1 home screen, head to Finance and Bill Charge Items and Standard Charges. Within this area, you can see that we've got 9 charge items down the left hand side. You may have less or more depending on your club, and you will see to the right hand side some more detail about the specific charge item that's been highlighted on the left. So pretty much all clubs will have subscriptions within their charge items, and just to go through a little bit of detail on here as to what each of it means. You can see here that there's an estimated revenue of just over £40,000. That's generated because the subscription charge is applied to 38 people across 14 categories. And you can see here that the price default is £0. The reason the price default is £0 is because it is very changeable by category. So for example, as you can see here, male 7-day members at £1,250 and a male 5-day member is £800. So the same price is not applicable across each of the categories. An area where that might be the same is things like lockers. Typically clubs may have the same price of locker for each member, regardless of the category that you are in. And as you can see here, that the large locker has a price default of £25. 5 people have got a large locker within this club across 8 categories, and the estimated revenue is £125. Okay, so if we start to make some changes to this, we can do that by managing the categories and editing at the top there. So let's do that for subscriptions to begin with. And we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do is edit. This is where we want to change the charge item maybe in its entirety rather than by individual category. So we can change the description, the title. We can apply to an EPOS purse. I'll talk about that shortly in bar levy. We can apply a nominal code for reporting purposes for things like Sage. We can change the VAT rate, and we can apply a price, whether that's the gross price or the net price, and then we can update existing categories to use the default price. Obviously, as said, subscriptions should not use a default price in this respect because all of the categories have a different price. Let's come out of that, and let's go into bar levy and go to edit again. So again, the same information appears on the screen, but you can see on this occasion we've got a gross price of £100 as the default price. And we can update that if we wish. Let's say it's £150 this year, and we want to update existing categories to use the default price. So this is different because the same price will be applied regardless of the category that your member is in. If we save that, firstly, we can see that the price has changed here and here to £150. We can see that the price here has changed to £150, and we can see that from the 3 members or 3 people that have this applied to their subscriptions, the estimated revenue is £450. We head back to subscriptions and manage the categories. This will be where you can individually change the rate of each of your categories. And I think that's really important to go through this and make sure that absolutely the right rate is being charged before you start to raise your subscriptions, your annual subscriptions. Okay, another clever tool within Club V1 is the budget tool. By clicking on this, we can play about with the prices within Club V1 without actually affecting the prices that are logged. So this would be in the instance where you may be considering, if I were to apply, say, a 5% increase to all of my charge items, what would the impact be as the overall revenue to my club if all of my members were to renew? So a number of hypotheticals there, but it's a process which I'm sure many clubs will go through. So if we apply a 5% increase, take a look at this number here. We've got 44 members who are 7-day male, total revenue at the moment that we get across that category from all charge items is just a shed over £36,000. And if we apply the 5% increase, we can see now that that number has changed to just over £38,000. Scroll to the bottom of that page, you can see the total income that you would expect to receive, and then broken down by individual charge item. So that's a neat little tool, and again, you can play about with this as much as you like. It's not going to change the values within your Club V1. To change the values, it would come out of this. To change the values would be to click Manage Categories here. Okay, the next thing we're going to do now is to add a new charge item. By doing so, we click this button here to add the charge item, and we're going to give it a description. And on this occasion, we will use Clubhouse Fund. The EPOS purse is not necessary in this. That would be where, for example, with the bar levy, you would enable members, when they pay their subscription, for that charge item to be applied directly to an EPOS purse. So if you've got a bar levy, naturally you would want that to go onto the bar purse. When the member pays, that proportionate amount would go onto the EPOS purse. So the Clubhouse Fund, we're going to charge £100 for that. And we will enable that for all categories and say yes. This now gives us the opportunity to select the categories we wish. So we're going to edit that, and by pressing select all, because they're already selected, we'll take that out, and we're just going to apply it to female 7-day and 5-day and male 7-day and 5-day. By clicking out of the box, we've now got 4 categories selected, and we're going to add that charge item at £100 to every person within the 4 categories selected. Okay, that's now done. If we're going to Clubhouse Fund, we can see there that there are 61 people within those 4 categories that are going to be charged £100 through their next renewal, generating an estimated revenue of £6,100. But we may not want to apply that charge to all members, and so that is where we are going to use global charges to change that information. So by clicking global charges here and concentrating here on Clubhouse Fund, we can see that we've got 4 different action points. And the first thing we need to do, because we've created this, and you can see that they're all selected on no change, because we've just created Clubhouse Fund, it's been applied to 61 people. The first thing we want to do is actually remove it from the 61 people. So we've allowed it to be applied to the categories that we want, but we don't want to apply it to every single person within those categories. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is switch it off. We'll press continue. We'll remove that for the moment. We'll say our saved filter of all members and apply that. So it's 114 people. Now we know it was only applicable to 61, but that doesn't matter. That's okay. We're just going to go belt and braces with this one and ensure that every single person within our Club V1 system has this charge removed. So all members, men and ladies, continue and confirm that. Go back to Clubhouse Fund now. We can see that there are still 4 categories for which this charge item is applicable, but there are 0 people with the charge item applied to them. Let's just take a look at one of our members within the system. Let's use Simon, who for the purpose of this is a 5-day member. Into finance, we can see that there is nothing there at the moment for Clubhouse Fund. Okay. Let's go back into our charge items. Go back to global charges. And for the Clubhouse Fund, we now want to amend this to be the category default. Continue. Okay, this is where we want to apply this now to only the people that have got the marker selected within the Club V1 system for Clubhouse Fund. So we've done that previously. We've created a marker. And if we add a field now, sorry, let's go to all members and add a field of Clubhouse Fund. Add. Yes. Apply. We can now see that we've got 2 people who have that selected within their Club V1 profile. They haven't been charged anything yet, but as a marker, they have that selected. We press continue and confirm and head back to Clubhouse Fund. We can now see that 2 people have had the charge applied for an estimated revenue now of £200. And just to be sure, let's go to that profile again. And we can see there the Clubhouse Fund of £100 has been applied. So that's more or less everything on applying the charges. As said, we do recommend that this is one of the first processes that you undertake when you are looking at your annual renewal for your members.